Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, among the heathen that look like those heathen nations. This is not a black thing. And to the few Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And I was inspired to do this. I was listening to a video that one of my contemporaries, a beloved elder brother Yashawamba, was doing, and he asked a question, about where's Vocab on this whole Netanyahu referring to the Palestinians as being Amalek, all right, which he really messed up mentioning Amalek. That's a can of worms, all right. And we all know, and even the Palestinians themselves know, and all the biblical scholars know, that Palestinians are Shemitic, but they're not Amalek. They're Ishmael. All right. That's even in the dictionaries, in the biblical dictionaries, the dictionary I have, the weapon I have behind me, the Winston Simplified Dictionary, Encyclopedia version, Encyclopedia Dictionary, with biblical references. It clearly breaks it down, and then in the Bible, Ishmael is they're the people that occupy the land of Palestine this present time. All right. So I'm going to read the scripture here. All right. Because as you see, this is an article from Breslov Research Institute. This was from 2011 and March 8th, 2011. And it says, where is Amalek today? And here's what they say. Today, though Amalek definitely and unfortunately exist. Hey, Vocab, where you at, man? All right. We cannot say with certainty who or where all of them are. All right. Well, let it be known that the men of the Great Millstone would definitely let you know, because guess what? None of our constituents will. IUIC is not going to jump on this topic. ISUPK, they're not apt to teach. I don't think that anyone outside of the secret disciple, the secret GMS disciple, Captain Kazariak, is apt to teach in ISUPK outside of him. So I don't know if they can even do the research to show you, because with all the members, there's only certain members that are allowed to do videos. But anyway, you can pretty much guarantee that the only people that are gonna to speak about this and use the scriptures and proper research, it will be the men of the Great Millstone. That I can pretty much guarantee will be alone on this subject matter. All right, a few more brothers, through the spirit, Elder Yashawamba, the elder bro, he's like my tag team partner. All right, one of them, one of my many tag team partners. But this is Numbers 24 and 20, and it reads, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. All right. He's the first of the nations. Now let's go to the NLT. I'm just curious. This is an NLT, Numbers 24 and 20, and it reads, then Balaam looked over toward the people of Amalek and delivered this message. Amalek was the greatest of nations, but its destiny is destruction. All right. So here they are. They've already admitted. All right. In this article, in this Breslov article, This is Breslov. You can see the title at the top. Breslov Research Institute. If you click on the article, this is what's going to pop up. But I just need this question. This statement. Though today Amalek definitely is and unfortunately exists. You hear that, Vocab? You hear that, Dr. White? You hear that, Dr. Brown? All right. We cannot say with certainty who and where he is or where all of them are. So that means they know where some of them are. Well, we definitely know where the majority of them are. Well, a huge portion of them are, I should say. 2 places, in America and over in the land of Israel. All right, but here we go. This is what pops up, all right, with that article. Okay, so I'm just go back because there's no need for that. Because the question is here, because I searched for that question in the article and couldn't find it. Well, I just didn't feel like reading all that, gibberish and all the stuff that they just speak and they don't back up anything that they say. They just say stuff, a lot of accusations and, a lot of information, but really no biblical proof or history to back up anything. Just all conjunction and conjecture and conjunction in their opinions. All right, opinions and that's it. But let's go back into the. I'm going to go and read it in the Strong's, and that the numbers that word first when it says Numbers 24 and 20 when it says was the first of the nations, and that's Hebrews 7. 87225. And it says, see if I can't make it any bigger, but I'll even bring it on the screen. But here, all right, it says, from the same as 87218, the first in place, time, order, or rank, a first fruit, beginning, chief, first part, principal thing, beginning, first fruits, first chief. All right, that word chief stands out big time. All right, there's an article that was just written in a Jerusalem Post. Let's see, it was the 50 most influential Jews. There it is. See? In the Jerusalem Post. No need to pull it up. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and click on it. Oh, wow. It's running down their names. I didn't even know it was going to do that. But hold on. Let's go back. But that was an article. Here it is. This was the article. That's what I was actually looking for. Darn, it did it again. Okay, because I don't want to put images and all that. I want the algorithm to. But here. And then anti-Semitism. I wonder how. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, this was a newer one. This was 2 months ago in the Jerusalem Post. If you can see it on the screen here. That one. It says the 50 most influential JEWSs, all right, or the JOOs. And it basically points out how they control banking, they control Hollywood, their role in politics in the biggest and most powerful countries in the world, America, and basically in the United Nations, all the NGO organizations, non-government organizations here in America that also influence law and policy here in America. And like I said, their control over Hollywood and the movies, their control in the music industry, and there it is. But yet, if someone else says that, they get labeled with the whole anti thing. They get attacked. Well, but guess what? That's telling you that's a chief. Because they're the first of the nations. Right now, America's going through dire, acts of God, of destruction that are happening across America. Ironically, it seems that all these places or many of these places where this destruction is happening, these very valuable resources are being found, under the ground. That, we all know about the lithium and the quartz in North Carolina, but now, that huge ginormous fire that's happening in Wyoming that no one is talking about, that's burning down properties and destroying land out there. Turns out that there's some sort of resource under the earth there also. Just found that kind of interesting. All right, that's happening. But nevertheless, and then when you go into Blackwater and what's the other group, Vanguard, and and the person that they're doing business with happens to be the husband of the vice president and running president, who was unofficially, the unofficial candidate who's actually running, who wasn't chosen, Kamala Harris. Her husband is actually directly connected to that. She's directly connected to that. So that sounds like some first and chief stuff going on. All right. And here, once again, they say that they don't know where Amalek is. All right. And then here's the article. This one is from, I think this was also from 2023, the dangerous rhetoric behind Netanyahu's, the dangerous history behind Bibi Milikowski's Amalek rhetoric. All right. When we know that the Palestinians are the bloodline of Ishmael, and this is from our Mother Jones, but there's one that's out, a more recent one. All right. This is by Noah Leonard. That's also, of the Ish persuasion. But there's one that's way more recent than that just came out, where he said it again. All right, as of recently. Okay, I just want to keep that. Who are the Amalekites on the screen? This Breslov thing. So let's listen to once again. I'm glad I kept this, and I'm going to keep using it until they pull it off TikTok. So I think they're having a hard time finding it. All right. So hold on, let me turn the sound all the way up. So we're gonna I think this is a collage of about 7 or 8 different rabbis telling you exactly who Esau is, except they leave themselves out. All right, because it is found in the Jewish targums that the Romans were Edom, who is Esau, or as they pronounce, because there's no V in Hebrew. That's the modern Newspeak version, the Yiddish-based Newspeak version, written with Hebrew characters, that was created by Eliezer ben Yehudi in the late 1800s. So, because prior to that, there was no V, there's no vowel sound. So it was actually Eliezer ben Yehudi who added the Roman, Europeanized the Roman or what I should say, the Latin long vowel sounds to the Hebrew. There was no O, no A, no E, no V, no V, none of those sounds. All right. Everything in Hebrew was ah. The only long vowel in Hebrew is the I sound. All right. And that was it. But let's listen to these rabbis tell you exactly, because they are asking a question, and all they need to do is go talk to their rabbis, to their scholars. And here we go.
Esau, who became Edom, who became the Roman Empire, which metamorphosed into the Christian Empire, which became Christian civilization, which is now represented by the United States of America, will suffer a crushing, humiliating defeat.
So one of the things that has to happen is America has to fall. I mean, because the American-led world, the world order, that's the American-led order, is going to end. That's not the same as the very end that we read in the Bible. Right. So somehow we're going to see a collapse.
The spiritual heirs of the Roman Empire is the Western world, United States of America, so the USA will last until Mashiach comes.
The West is wrong. According to the simple meaning, Europe and America are really one entity.
And the thing is, listen, we are already deteriorating economically. Our position in the world, our enemies are rising. China is rising. Others are rising.
I mean, America is strong, but not when they're going against 3-4 armies.
All the mountains are going to be full of blood, of the corpses of Edom because of the vengeance that Hashem is going to take from them.
Kadosh Baruch Hu will arise and will destroy completely the city of Edom and will completely uproot them.
But we know one thing, right? That when it comes to classic Rome, which is Europe, they're finished.
And you don't have to be a prophet or a great analysis for that. You have to open the TV or the internet and see that exactly what was prophesied then, that the sons of Ishmael are going to go and cause havoc around the world. So France is completely barbecued. England is next. Now half of Europe is completely halved it. Now look what's going on in America. So, now in
and wow, now that he said that about Ishmael, see, so they know that Ishmael is not Amalekites. They're telling you that America is Esau and white Christianity is Esau. Well, guess what? The Amalekites are Edomites. Amalek is a grandson of Amalek is a grandson of Edom. All right. And the Agagites came out of Amalek, and because in that article they talked about Haman, all right. So they're telling you right there, when they telling you that America and white Christianity is Esau, is Edom, well, that's Amalek, all right. They're one people, but who's the chief? All you have to do is ask yourself, when all these white people being left out to dry, when they're getting $700, but yet they're sending billions over to the first nation, to the chief nation, which is the Israelis. All right, and they've been doing it because this thing with Ukraine is kind of new. They've been doing this with the Israelis for God knows only knows. Probably since they went over there. But America has been sending them billions up. Since I've been in this truth. I've been aware of that. So they've been doing it at minimum, and I'm sure they were doing it way before I woke up to this. So, but for 16 years in this truth, they've been getting billions upon billions, at least 10 billion a year at minimum. All right, they're the biggest welfare state, and they use that money to wage war on everyone around them, like they're doing now, and they're picking fights. They're not defending themselves. They're picking fights, and they're dragging, and they're actually fulfilling scripture. All right, because you got 3 chapters in Ezekiel that are all basically have played themselves out. You got Ezekiel 37 with the awakening of the Israelites. All right, which they hate. Matter of fact, let me read a little bit of it. Ezekiel 37:15, it says, "And the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel and his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou show us what thou meanest by these?" See, the Israelis never did that, because according to them, they've always known who they were. All right, and the reason that the Israelites were told to do this, were ordered to do this, is because they were scattered to the 4 corners of the earth among all people, and there had to come a time when they were awakened. The valley of the dry bones, which is here in Babylon. All right. And in the valley of the shadow of death, they woke up. And, and that started with Abba Bibbins, all right? And then, and with the men that were with him, and now our elders, and now us. Right? And it says, "And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel and his fellows, and put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall all be one in thy hand, and the sticks whereupon thy writest shall be in thine hand before thy eyes." So all the tribes would come together, all right, being united before the world eyes, and that happened with the Hebrew Israelites. That didn't happen with Christianity. Christianity, the apostolics don't get along with the Baptists, don't get along with the Jehovah's Witnesses, don't get along with the Seventh-day Adventists, don't get along with the Pentecostals. they'll find differences and they'll get into it over their doctrines. And the Judaism people completely condemn them all. As to basically it's all from the tree of Christianity is from Rome, and it's Esau, as the rabbis just told you. So all of them, these Christians, these Edomite Christians support the Amalekites over in the Holy Land, but the Amalekites don't support them over here, and are throwing them under the Esau Edom bus, under the Esau bus. All right, it's almost comical. Then we go to Ezekiel 38, and it tells you how the Lord. Let me just read it. Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog and Magog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, every great company with buckler and shield, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them all, with all of them. The Israelis just started a war in Libya, with the Lebanese. That's what I meant to say. All right, and with the Persians, okay, which is modern day Iran, and all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togobon, the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company, and all that assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. And I just watched an interview with Loki, the Palestinian rapper, the Ishmaelite rapper, who basically said how that Bibi Milikowski just destroyed Israel, destroyed their economy, and brought the whole Arab worlds and armies against them, which there's no possible way that he can defeat them without America's help. All right. And even when America helped them, they won't be able to help them for too much longer. America's going to have their own problems. And these Israelis are about to get themselves destroyed because they haven't stood up and went against, Bibi Milikowski. He's leading his people to destruction. And his people don't even want him in rulership. He's keeping these perpetual wars going to keep from facing the courts. That's what he's doing. All right. But Jacob is still on the bottom, is still in captivity. Matter of fact, there's no prophecy that said Jacob would go to the Holy Land, just not even a portion of them, just the Jews. All right. It's the 12 tribes of Israel, not the 12 tribes of Jewish. All right. You got to remember when you read this article right here, that you got to dodge the hijack. They go back in the past before the conversion of John Hyrcanus. Before John Hyrcanus, there was no Jewish. You were either the kingdom of Judah or you were the kingdom of Israel, but they were all Israelites. The Jewish came when the Edomites, when a big portion of the Edomites were forced to convert during the time of John Hyrcanus, during the time of the Maccabees. All right, and that's where the family, the Herodian bloodline came out of that. All right, but this is Ezekiel 39:25. It says, Therefore thus saith the Lord power, now I will bring again the captivity of Jacob and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and I will be jealous for my holy name. See, and they say Hashem. That's the name. That's not a name. His name is Yahweh. And they say that because it wasn't given unto them. And then they know it's power in the name, and they definitely don't want the scattered saying that name. See, they scattered us, and then they took the name away. It said, Ezekiel 39:26. And after that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none of them and none made them afraid. See, because when we go home, we're not going to be afraid. We're not going to have millions of our people leaving because people are penetrating our defenses and all that other mess. All right, that's not going to be happening, and the whole world will be coming to us for wisdom and understanding. That's not happening now. It's just like the elder bro Yahshua said. He's using the Bible as an excuse to to attack and murder, commit genocide against the Palestinians and other Ishmaelites around about him. All right. And Vocab Malone and the Christians aren't saying anything. You know, where's this great Jesus love? All right. And that's not in prophecy that the Israelites will go home and then wage war. You know, when the Israelites go home, there will be peace on earth. That's it. All right. When the Lord takes them back, he's bringing them all back. They're not going to go back by the hand of man and then bits and then to declare this people, this is the lost tribe, and declare this people, this is a lot. And those people are still living somewhere else under another government with other names. That's not that. So they've been ignoring the prophecies, especially the prophecy that tells you in Ezekiel the 35th chapter that they would that the Edomites would take the land of Israel. See, that's 36, and then 37. It tells you in 36 that Esau, Edom would take the land. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. All right, because it's not just Amalek. The rest of Idumea supports Amalek. All right, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. 37, we read portions of it. That's the awakening of the Israelites. That's what the 12 tribe sign is all about, right? The 12 tribes being identified, okay, on there. That would happen. That's prophecy. Nobody else did it. And then it's funny how these people we're nowhere in the end days, but then they want to deny the 12 tribe sign, and no one came with a 12 tribe sign before that one. It's insane. All right. Then 38, that has come to pass because now because now Gog and Magog, you know, the BRICS nations, have come together, you know, and now back in 39, it says, Ezekiel 39:27, when I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands. Remember I said scattered among all people, all right, among their enemies, and sanctified them in the sight of many nations. The 12 tribe sign. We got sanctified by saying the Negroes of the tribe of Judah. You know, the Ephraimites are the tribe of the Puerto Ricans. You know, the Reubenites are the Seminoles, Black Seminole Indians. All right, you know, the Issachar are the Mexicans, and so on and so forth down the line. Okay, no one else did that. But yeah, everyone will agree with we're in the end days. You see the hypocrisy from people? Verse 28, Ezekiel 39:28. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land and have left none of them any more there. So he's going to, you know, take us from among the heathen, which some of us are going to look like the heathen. This is not a black thing. All right. Verse 29. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord power. That is why all nations were blessed, is because the Israelites were scattered among them all. And the Lord's going to gather them from among the places where they're scattered. So if you're scattered among so-called white people, guess how you're going to look? If you're scattered among so-called Asian people, guess how you're going to look? If you're scattered among so-called Indian people, Arab people, Ishmaelites, Edomites, guess how you're going to look? If you're scattered among Hamites, so-called Africans, guess how you're going to look? All right, so this is, if you're scattered among the Hawaiians and the Samoans, the true people of Japhet, all right, guess how you're going to look? Look at the rock. He's a perfect example of that. The rock looks like his mother's people, but he's built just like his father and looks like his father from the neck down. Look up the rock's father. All right, he's a Judite, brown skin with woolly hair. Okay. So you can't you can't go by the outside covering, man. Hey, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash, Kwam Yashirala, Abad Babal.